Q3899. What is one procedure for relighting the burner while in flight? A. Open the regulator or blast valve full open and light the pilot light. B. Close the tank valves, vent the fuel lines, reopen the tank valves, and light the pilot light. C. Open another tank valve, open the regulator or blast valve, and light the main jets with reduced flow. The correct answer is C. One procedure for relighting the burner while in flight is to open another tank valve, open the regulator or blast valve, and light the main jets with reduced flow. This method ensures a controlled and gradual ignition of the burner. Opening another tank valve allows for a fresh supply of fuel, and then gradually opening the regulator or blast valve and igniting the main jets with reduced flow helps in a smooth and controlled ignition process. 3900. Deflate the envelope as rapidly as possible during a landing. When should the deflation port, RIP panel, be opened? A. The instant the gondola contacts the surface. B. As the balloon skips off the surface the first time and the last of the ballast has been discharged. C. Just prior to ground contact. The correct answer is C. When deflating the envelope rapidly during a landing, the deflation port, RIP panel, should be opened just prior to ground contact. Opening the deflation port at the right moment allows for the controlled release of the lifting gas, aiding in the descent and landing process. Opening the deflation port too early may result in an uncontrolled descent, while opening it too late may prevent the airship from descending adequately for a safe landing. 3901. When landing a free balloon, what should the occupants do to minimize landing shock? A. Be seated on the floor of the basket. B. Stand with knees slightly bent, in the center of the gondola, facing the direction of movement. C. Stand back to back and hold onto the load ring. The correct answer is B. To minimize landing shock when landing a free balloon, the occupants should stand with their knees slightly bent, positioned in the center of the gondola, and facing the direction of movement. This posture helps absorb some of the landing impact and provides better stability during touchdown. It is important for occupants to follow proper landing procedures and adopt a stable stance to minimize the risk of injury during landing. 3902. Prior to a high-wind landing, the pilot in command should brief the passengers to prepare for the landing by A. Kneeling on the floor and facing aft. B. Crouching on the floor and jumping out of the basket upon contact with the ground. C. Crouching while hanging on in two places and remaining in the basket until advised otherwise. The correct answer is C. Prior to a high-wind landing, the pilot in command should brief the passengers to prepare for the landing by crouching while hanging on in two places and remaining in the basket until advised otherwise. This position helps passengers maintain stability and balance during a high-wind landing. By crouching and holding on to two secure points, such as the load ring or grab handles, passengers can better withstand the forces and movements associated with the landing. 3903. Which precaution should be exercised if confronted with the necessity of having to land a balloon when the air is turbulent? A. Land in any available lake close to the upwind shore. B. Land in the center of the largest available field. C. Land in the trees to absorb shock forces, thus cushioning the landing. The correct answer is B. If confronted with the necessity of having to land a balloon when the air is turbulent, the precaution that should be exercised is to land in the center of the largest available field. When the air is turbulent, it is important to choose a landing site that provides as much open space as possible, reducing the chances of encountering obstacles or turbulent air currents near the ground. Landing in the center of a large field allows for better maneuverability and minimizes the risk of being affected by localized turbulence.